down archaeologists, sort of architects, engineers, and we'll see what happens. Conservation is primary.
Sure, and although it's devastating and it's a horrible mess, actually you've learnt something as well here, haven't you? I mean, it's quite interesting. You found, for example, oyster shells. Well, why would there be oyster shells in here?
Yeah, no, we have found oyster shells amongst the rubble, because we do know that the Abbott's port here was really quite substantial at some point, so there would have been a lot of commerce coming through there. And the oyster shells, we think, would have been used in between large boulders. They would have wedged them in to make sure that the large boulders were wide enough so they could squeeze a little bit more mortar in them to make sure the fix was really strong. Obviously not strong enough for yesterday,
no,
but strong enough for 400 years.
Exactly, 400 years and then this. But you're hopeful it can be rebuilt. Thank you very much indeed, William Murray there. And they also discovered that some of the stone here was recycled from the original 11th century abbey on this site. So although it is a mess, it's an interesting mess for archaeologists.
OK, James Cook live for us there at Scone Palace with that rather sad news about a van reversing into that ancient arch. But in the meantime, let's go to the weather, and Dan Corbett's here.
Hello, it's one of those days. Looks like the wet weather gear will come in handy. A fair bit of cloud, but over the next couple of days you'll certainly be grabbing the old umbrella as weather systems work their way in. We keep mostly cloudy skies through the day. A fair bit of cloud, there's some damp weather here and there, bits and pieces of drizzle, but certainly not a washout. The main weather system sitting off to the west, that starts to work into Northern Ireland. Elsewhere you can see the cloud with a few brighter skies here and there. Here's how we work our way through the first part of the afternoon. Outbreaks of rain, they come into Northern Ireland, maybe the odd heavier burst. Elsewhere, skies slowly brightening, more wet weather to southwest England, and some of the wet weather works across parts of Scotland too. The far north, maybe some brighter skies. Down to the borders, parts of northern England, managing a little bit of brightness. A few spots of drizzle still here and there, but if anything, it's the main area of cloud, so it's not the old day for the sunglasses if you're going to be out and about. Finishing off, 16, 17 to the south and the east. Come further west, you'll see more cloud, and then here it is. The outbreaks of rain just starting to spread in with our next weather system that just starts to creep in to parts of southwest England. After a few spots have managed some reasonably bright weather, but that cloud will thicken up to, say, parts of Devon, coming into Wales too, outbreaks of rain, a few little brighter spots here and there. And then for Northern Ireland, the band of rain, that's going to work through for the course of the afternoon. As we finish off the late afternoon, then work into the evening, looks like a bit of a mess, like we've just taken some paint and a paintbrush and gone like that. But the main line of our weather front sits about here. And there'll be some surges of energy, or surges, some heavier bursts of rain. One particular one will work across parts of Northern Ireland, through Scotland, through the late parts of the night. Good burst with that, 20, 30 millimetres as it works its way through. With a fair bit of cloud, it's not a chilly night. 10, 11, 12 to 14. And maybe something slightly dry, just easing in to the western parts of Northern Ireland as we start off Wednesday, which, no surprise, it'll be a day for the umbrella with outbreaks of rain. Some heavier bursts too as our little ripples move along our main weather system and eventually ease it through. Brighter skies, sunshine and showers for Northern Ireland, and the drier weather working into western Scotland and Wales as we finish off. Number 17, 18, but obviously a fair bit of cloud as we finish off. That's the weather system. It's going to ease away, and then we get a bit of a westerly wind, drying things out slowly as we go to Thursday. The next weather system, just hang on a sec. We'll see that perhaps when we get towards the later parts of Thursday and Friday. Quite a change too, but Thursday isn't too bad. A few showers to those western coasts, and finishing numbers 16, maybe an 18 as we finish off the course of the day. That's the weather for now.
46 athletes, 23 countries and one dream.
My dream for me is to get the Olympic gold.
That's the greatest thing that anyone can want.
Follow their training and find out what drives them.
I wake up pretty much every morning and I do look forward to the day. I live in a fantastic place to train and it really is a motivation.
I've got so much on my plate all the time with schoolwork and training. At the moment I'm just looking towards the end of my exams.
I have a team around me. This is my second family. Only in sport you can have this kind of emotion.
The Countdown to London 2012 on BBC News, Radio 5 Live and at bbc.co.uk/2012.
Labour's new leader prepares for the speech of his life. Ed Miliband's about to address the Labour Party conference in which he's expected to mark a break with the past. Where will the axe fall? The future of Britain's armed forces is considered by the Prime Minister and security chiefs. The personal details of thousands more broadband customers alleged to have shared music or films illegally are leaked online. 2 teenagers go on trial accused of killing a man who they thought was a paedophile. North Korean leader Kim Jong-il makes his son a general amid rumours he's being anointed as successor. And a makeshift schoolroom opens for the children waiting for their fathers to be freed from the mine in Chile.
And I'll be here with all the sport later in the hour as the Europe and US teams enjoy their first day's practice at Celtic Manor ahead of the Ryder Cup, which starts on Friday.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1. Labour's new leader, Ed Miliband, is preparing to make the speech of his life this afternoon when he addresses Labour's party conference in Manchester. His brother David, who he beat by a whisker, will be listening, but he's yet to reveal whether he plans to work alongside his brother. Well, Emily Maitlis is in Manchester now. Emily.
Yeah, Sophie, this afternoon then a defining moment for Ed Miliband to introduce himself to the public, really, and to set out what he thinks. He'll also be at pains to distance himself from Gordon Brown, to denounce the former Prime Minister's claim that Labour could end boom and bust. He'll repeatedly tell the audience we think that he understands. The message he's trying to get out in all this, it seems, is that he's not remote, he's not aloof, but he's in touch. He's also got to convince people here that they chose the right Miliband brother. Our political correspondent Gary O'Donoghue reports.
These 5 came to Manchester hoping they would be making today's leader's speech. But having won the contest, Ed Miliband now has to do the vision thing and tell the party and the country where he's going.
It's Ed's day today. We're going to unite behind him. He will have my full and unequivocal support.
We'll give a taste of what Ed Miliband is all about. The man, his character, his